Welcome to This Week at Four Horsemen, where we are in the African savannah, and we are two critters who have no cares. I am Raimon, and this is Ramba.
Hakuna Matata.
It means no worries, which is what you'll have when you watch this show.
Yeah, mostly.
So, Mr. Pig.
They call me Mr. Some events, some sales promotions, and some other nerdy stuff happening in and around the store.
Right, and we're going to start off this week like we do every week with a giveaway.
We're going to give away something cool this week, I think. If you've been following...
Everything else we've given up to this point has been
it was all right.
meh.
It was all right. This week we're giving away the entire run of the Doomsday comic that is coming out. Issue 4 is coming out. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. So how are we going to give this away?
We have a trivia question.
We do.
If you're the first person on Facebook to put a comment on the video, the correct answer to the trivia question, you win. Just come in and claim your prize. Yep. And the question
is, how did the castaway escape the deserted island in the Black Freighter subplot?
He made a raft with Wilson, and they got away.
It was sea turtles, mate.
Yeah, sea turtles. Hair from my back. Just made a rope. Okay, let's move on to comics. Taste from my childhood. Goosebumps is back in comic form, but updated.
Download and
for current kids. Yeah. This is the first issue of Goosebumps Download and Die, and the synopsis is about a group of kids who find like the newest version of the coolest phone. It has all the coolest new games and apps, but then the games and apps lead to down some dark roads.
I am sort of aware of the Goosebumps franchise, and the dummy in the back, he has been in a couple of these things.
Oh, more than a couple.
Like
that's Slappy.
Slappy. And what's with the dinosaurs wearing the hats?
That's, I don't know.
They're very rad.
This looks like, so the dinosaurs look like they're from a ad from a dentist's office from the 90s. He's like, you can be cool and brush your teeth too. I don't know, but Goosebumps is great. Maybe a little social commentary on this, like your phone's going to kill you.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know.
I can see that.
All right, moving on to DC, the final issue of Dark Knight's Metal.
Holy cow.
With a Joker dragon. And
is it a dragon, or I thought it was like a bat? Like his face was a bat.
I mean, it looks like a dragon to me. See the tail?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably definitely a dragon.
Is Batman riding the Joker?
Yeah, and then you got Wonder Woman and that other guy.
The dude in the red cape.
The dude
Who's that guy? Is that a new character?
It's Mr. Incredible. Yeah, but this is the last issue of what has been like the biggest DC event since...
Action Comics #1.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not quite that. But I mean, it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
So be there.
That's pretty cool.
Or be square. And speaking of big DC events,
the Doomsday Clock series is still running hot. Issue 4 is coming out, so
running hot with syrup.
Do you know who they're sort of alluding to in that stack of pancakes?
Rorschach, I guess.
That is Rorschach. It looks like Rorschach to me.
I mean, that's just my guess.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. I think that's a solid guess. Or it's just a stack of pancakes.
Or there's a new character named Flappy Jack.
Flappy Jack. And his sidekick, Pat O'Butter.
Okay.
No?
All right. Speaking of big issues, Daredevil is hitting 600 this week, which I didn't even realize there were anywhere close to that many issues of Daredevil. So this is a big one, and you can see by the cover we have a pretty huge ensemble of heroes and villains there.
Got some Spidey action going on there.
Yeah, we got Luke Cage, Iron Fist, the
Wilson Fisk.
I was just about to. I mean, Black Cat, lots of them there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This is going to be a collector's edition. There are like 7 or 8 different covers for this thing. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
How come you didn't have a deal for Daredevil 600 like you do for Action Comics 1000?
The Action Comics 1000 is going to be pretty cool. When Daredevil gets up to 1000, we'll do the same thing for him. How about that?
You know, the Action Comics 1000 deal that you have, probably something we should include.
You want to
give us a...
So here's the rundown with Action Comics. It hits 1000 in the middle of April. There's going to be 10 different covers, and we're going to offer all 10 of those covers for $65. So come in and get the set. Hang on to them. They'll be worth billions of dollars. Probably not. They're worth at least $65 though.
They will probably be worth more than you pay for them.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to Star Wars. The new issue of Afra is out.
What is going on here? Is
So-
she arresting her? And why is she so happy about
Yeah,
it?
they kidnapped her in the last.
Okay.
It's kind of hilarious. In the last, she has like this team of bounty hunters now that she's in command of, and secretly she's working for 000, who is the C-3PO death
Yep.
bot, who's blackmailed her into working for him. This
fantastic.
comic is just fantastic, but he had them penetrate a rebel pilot academy, and they snuck in there and they kidnapped Hera.
That's fantastic.
This book is fantastic. There's no other word for it. You should be reading it.
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
and that has nothing to do with the other big developments from Afra.
Oh yeah.
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 Chef's kiss.
Yep. Speaking of books you should be reading, my staff pick of the week is based on a movie that came out last week. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go see it. Grab the graphic novel, read it. It's called I Killed Giants. It is done by a guy named Joe Kelly. He wrote the original book and he wrote the screenplay, so it's going to be very, very similar. I mean, the movie is going to follow the book real close. Without giving too much away, it is about a girl.
Killing giants.
Yes, sort of, mostly, a little bit. Girl.
Is this like Ronald Dole's The Big Friendly Giant?
I have not seen that. BFG.
Or, it's a book.
Is it?
I mean, they did make
did a movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Have not read
Two
or
movies.
seen it. Haven't
It's a
seen
good
it.
one, but sorry, keep
Anyway, so this is about a troubled girl. She is
Roll to Doll.
Yeah, she has taken upon herself to battle these giants to try to save this town. But there's some deeper meaning to a lot of this stuff. But I will not give away too much of it. So
There's a
read the book.
person who stars in this movie whose last name is Poots.
Yes, I do not know.
Their
what they
middle
play.
school experience must have been horrifying.
Pendragon.
I mean-
Poots. Is there Poots in here? Where's
I mean,
Poots?
it's got to say a lot about them that they made it through middle school.
Poots.
All right. Speaking of fighting, we're moving on to the Four Horsemen versus series. Last week, Dream destroyed. He made ice cubes out of Iceman. Would you like cubes or crushed ice?
Crushed,
Well-
sprinkled in a fine powder.
Yeah, we're all having Bobby Drake pina coladas.
Sorry, Bobby.
Over here.
There was no chance.
I love Iceman, but yeah, it's just didn't happen.
No.
All right, who won our best comment?
Best comment was by Mr. Aaron Johnson. He was in this past Sunday running some
games.
role-playing stuff.
Yep.
And he says Dream would only lose if he had more important things to focus on.
I mean, that's true. Like he maybe like
so true.
Dream is analyzing all of the things he has going on, and he's like, I'm supposed to fight this Iceman guy. All right, he can just win that.
Whatever.
That's
I scoop.
yeah. So there's a scenario where Iceman
Yep.
could win. Yeah, I
That's
thought
about the
it
only
was
one.
great. So this week we have another more eclectic one. We have Ifrit, the fire demon from the Final Fantasy video game franchise, versus Inuyasha from the anime franchise that takes his own name. And I'm going to throw this to you because I know you have nothing to say.
I've got nothing except the big giant fire dude is totally gonna wreck that whoever's in the bottom.
He's not.
The fire dude won't? Look
Yeah.
at him.
Oh,
He's
I'll-
a giant fire dude.
I can explain this with logic and reason.
Okay.
Okay, so he is a giant fire demon. So Inuyasha's from an anime.
Okay.
He is a half demon. His sword, right there, the Tetsaiga,
Yeah.
is the ultimate demon killing thing.
That's not fair.
And also, the red robes he wears are the robes of the fire rat, and they're fire repellent.
What?
So this is
I call fix.
this.
I demand a
This is
rematch.
basically
I want
like
a
it was
rematch.
fixed. So, Inuyasha, we will be seeing you in round 2.
See, Ifrit. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry,
Pulling for
Ifrit.
you.
Flame on.
Flame out.
So, moving
Man,
on.
moving on.
Yeah.
Let's do our weekly events. Shall we?
Yeah, we will pull up the calendar
we
image.
go.
These are all the events, the gaming events that we have going on this week at Horsemen Comics and Gaming. Except we are also doing a Masters 25 Mini Masters this Saturday. Ron, you want to give us the quick rundown on that?
So what's going to happen is anytime during Saturday, two people want to come up and do a mini Masters match, they're both going to pay $13. They're going to grab a modern or a Masters 25 pack, build a deck from that, and that's what we're going to play with. The winner gets another Masters 25 pack.
A pretty good deal. So if you need any more details on these events, please go to facebook.com/4horsemencomics and click on the events tab. All right, moving on. We're going to talk more about Dominaria.
Look at that.
So the pre-release is coming up. Tell us about our 90s promotion.
90s promotion. I can't say too much. I don't want to give it away. It's going to be rad. It's going to be so rad.
I mean, but you should give some details to promote the event.
So we're going to have a 90s themed pre-release party. It's just going to be.
Is this going to be at the midnight?
This will be at actually it'll probably be through all of them. Yeah, through the whole weekend. It'll be a whole 90s themed weekend, running some 90s movies, 90s music, lots of Ice Baby probably.
So we're gonna do your favorite 90s movie of all time, right? Space Jam.
Oh yes.
Yeah. He hates Space Jam.
I just didn't understand it.
There's nothing to really understand.
It was very cerebral.
It's just fun.
It is.
It's just fun. They just released the first Dominaria story on dailymtg.com. I get through that whole spiel at the end, but I can't say dailymtg.com. They just released the first story where they go back to Dominaria.
Yeah. It's good.
The hype train, man. Ooh, it's coming. Should really be reading these stories, but to get the full context, you need to go back and read the Ixalan ones, and then also go back and read the Amonkhet ones.
Just read all of them.
Or just
25 years.
Read the wiki summaries. Yeah. Or we could do our own. We could do our own drunk history version with magic stories. So like Jace,
Nicobolus.
Jace he's like, yo, dragon, get off this Egypt world. Could do that.
Yeah.
All right. We also have some board game.
We got a board game thing. Yeah. International Tabletop Days. Check out my banner thing. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah. Bruce would be proud.
Yeah. That's awful. You're in timeout. International Tabletop Day is Saturday, April 20th. We're still looking for some volunteers. Schedule is filling up. We have some special guests planned. It's going to be an all-day event. Come out and check it out.
Who's the special guest?
Darius.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say what he's bringing though. Local board game.
He's bringing the game.
He's bringing a game.
He's got all the
bringing
games.
His A game.
He's bringing a game.
His A game, yes.
He's bringing a game.
And his A game.
Yeah. All right, moving on to my favorite segment and Ron's favorite segment. This week in Star Wars, where The Last Jedi is out on Blu-ray.
Yes. Oh my God. This is what happens when I miss staff meetings. She looked like Avatar.
We forgot to save the planet. It's Jakku. We can let it go.
She was like after the tree and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
No, she's actually. Turns out we finally found out who her parents were. Was Thrawn. She's a chiss.
Oh, that's bad.
All right, so Last Jedi's on Blu-ray.
How many times have you seen it? Because I know you got it on demand.
Already. I've only watched it once since. Yeah, I mean, I'm so something I've tried to change about my life in the past 10 years is to not watch the same movie back to back to back to back.
Ooh.
Because as a kid, I just watched movies to death.
Right.
And I think the last one where when I realized I had a problem was Revenge of the Sith, where I just watched it to death, and I just realized that I could have been doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And I try to, instead of putting these movies on all the time, I try to make them events in my house when we do watch them.
Yeah.
All right, tonight's a Star Wars night. We're watching a Star Wars movie. We're ordering pizza. We're ordering Chinese. We're doing this. We're doing that. I try to make it a big thing.
Gotcha. Like that. But every night should be Star Wars night. Could be an event every night.
We're doing the Marvel thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting ready, getting pumped.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks?
No, it's in May. Or no, it's that last week of April now.
Yeah.
Yeah, April 26th.
Yep.
Or buy your tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one actually, I haven't seen a movie sell out for years. And this one may actually
be. It might. We're moving on.
We're moving on. Buy Blu-ray.
All right, we're doing a bit of an eclectic top 10 this week. This is top 10 sequels that are better than the original. Yes. And we're starting off with number 10.
With the first one we're going to fight about.
Well, I think this is the only one we're really going to fight about. I mean, but I got to say, I think Hellboy 2 is just so much better than the first one. With the first one, the studio's like, all right, we got this guy Guillermo del Toro.
We don't know what
he's kind of new.
Yeah.
He wants to do like all these practical effects. We don't really know what's going on. So they let him make the movie, but they were kind of like, be reserved, hold back.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then he makes Pan's Labyrinth, and Pan's Labyrinth is like the best fantasy movie that made since like
fantastic.
Return of the King.
Yeah.
And like, okay. All right, we're gonna do another Hellboy, and you just do whatever the hell
Do
you
whatever
want.
you want. And the problem was he did whatever he wanted,
And it was beautiful.
it was not.
I think you just need to let that scene go.
All right, Google the scene where they're singing Hellboy 2, the Golden Army singing.
Yeah, like
scene.
every time I have a conversation with somebody about this movie, except for you, they say, "Oh, I love that scene."
Really?
Yeah, like the whole group. When we went to see this movie, like we were rolling out of our seats at that scene. But that scene's not why we love it. Like we love this movie because of the practical effects and the creatures and the monsters.
Yeah. The effects in that movie were fantastic and very nice. So what's our number 9? Road Warrior.
I have not seen a single Mad Max movie other than
Fury Road.
Yeah. So this is all you.
So this is me. So I saw Road Warrior. I saw Mad Max and didn't even realize that it was actually a sequel to the Road Warrior.
Road Warrior is the sequel to Mad Max.
Was it the way around?
Yeah.
All right. So
This is top 10 sequels that are better than the original.
So Mad Max, or this was the sequel to Mad Max, and the first one, Mad Max, was it was a good establishing movie, I guess, but the second one, by far and away, was far superior. It's like they had double the budget, like had $20. It was great.
I mean, that does happen a lot with sequels, where they're like, all right, we're taking a chance on this movie. Okay, it was good. Throw money at the second one.
How much more money you got?
We'll often get movies where the first one is better, but the second one is better visually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jurassic Park.
Yep. They put a lot of money into that, except for the story.
Oh.
What's number 8?
Number 8. Spider-Man 2 is just better.
Doc Ock.
It's just Doc Ock, Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
Is great, and then you have that scene.
It's so good.
One of my all-time favorite scenes in superhero
diner?
movies. No, not the diner scene. It's the train scene.
Oh,
where he stops the train.
He's like holding. That to me that was the defining Spider-Man moment in the Sam Raimi series. Yeah.
No, not when he's dancing on the table.
Oh my god. The emo Spider-Man. Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah.
Number 7.
So
Deathly Hallows.
We had this whole discussion about Harry Potter, and we're like, yeah, Chamber of Secrets is definitely better than Sorcerer's Stone. And they're like, yeah, but Prisoner of Azkaban is better than that one. But Goblet of Fire is better than. We're like, all right, so Deathly Hallows is just better than all. So they just keep getting better and better and better, with a little debate here and there. Yeah. But I mean, these movies just kind of. It was like a tidal wave.
It was, yeah.
And it just got stronger as it hit the shore.
We've been rewatching these at the Davis house just kind of sporadically, and Deathly Hallows still my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, like it's hard because whenever somebody asks me like what's my favorite Harry Potter movie and book, well, actually I have different answers depending if we're talking about movies or books. In terms of movies, I'd have to say, oh yeah, definitely Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet of Fire, and Half-Blood Prince, and both the Deathly Hallows movies. So it's hard, but I think like this, this is the culmination.
Yeah. This is where it all comes together.
Yeah, and just the battle over a high school.
Hey, did I tell you I was going to write to the producers of Family Guy?
Mm-hmm.
You know how they do the Star Wars things? I was going to have them do Harry Potter. They could call it Co-Hogwarts. Number 6.
I don't think they'd ever get the appropriate licensing to do that.
Not.
No.
Probably not.
Number 6, Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. X-Men First Class.
Yep.
Great movie.
Yes.
But Days of Future Past takes the original cast, the new cast, throws them together with probably the best script from any X-Men movie. Yeah. Like you get all the coolness of a Wolverine movie because he's kind of there and he's central, but you also get the Magneto Xavier
the
bromance. Like you get everything in this movie and it's very well balanced and like the end is great and it's
great.
It
was a good movie.
And you get both Magnetos, you get both Xaviers.
Yep. Loved it. Yeah. Number 5, Dark Knight. What can you say about the Joker? Come on.
I still remember being in my high school cafeteria and he told me, hey, did you hear Heath Ledger's going to play the Joker? And I liked Heath Ledger before it was cool.
Yeah.
Now, like from like Well, even before that, like I saw him in The Patriot.
yeah.
I was like, man, this guy's kind of a good actor. And then I saw The Knight's Tale, and I was like, this guy is great.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of other movies up to including Brokeback Mountain.
Right.
And then so I was a Heath Ledger fan, and I was like, the Joker.
What's he gonna do?
And now, anytime that I hear such and such is going to play such and such,
You compare him.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that sounds suspicious. But Heath Ledger was the Joker.
Yeah. But Jared Leto, come on.
Jared Leto was fine.
He was okay.
He was fine.
He was a different Joker.
I mean, they've all been different Jokers, from Cesar Romero to
Yeah.
Mark Hamill to Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto. They've all been good.
Right.
But they've played different characters, essentially.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. But Dark Knight, much better than Batman Begins.
Yeah, but I like Batman Begins.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. The ones that these are better of, they're not. Any commentary on the original.
Yeah.
So what do we have for 4? First Contact.
Which Star Trek Generations is a little questionable. I don't know, it's fine. It's fine. You got both captains, but the Borg.
Oh, the Borg.
The Borg.
The Borg Queen. That was the creepiest.
Scary.
Oh my lord.
I know.
When they like were bringing her down to like clamp her into her body, that to me was one of the most visually cool scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
And those scenes with her and Data, where she's touching him.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
blowing on his
I don't know if I need to be like scared or another emotion, and like this is real confusing. And this movie's also great because you get to see something you almost never see, and it's a flawed Picard.
Yeah.
And you get to see like another character like really call him out on it.
Yeah.
It's you really humanizes Jean-Luc.
Yep.
This movie's wonderful, and it's also kind of like a Star Trek horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. She's very. Yeah. She just creeped me out. Yeah. I loved her. Number 3.
Jonathan Frakes. War for Planet of the Apes. I love the whole new trilogy, but the third one is definitely the best one.
Yeah. Anytime we had, was it Caesar that was dual wielding?
Yeah. Riding the horse.
Yeah, riding the horse.
Holding M16.
Yeah. How could it not win?
I mean, just this movie's fantastic. There's not a lot to dwell on here.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Number 2, Last Crusade. There is debate between honestly between the 3.
Yeah.
I think
there was 4, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were 4.
No, there wasn't.
No, there are, but there's no debate.
Yeah, we're not going.
I think you can make a case for any of the 3 of them for being the best one.
Yeah. I agree with that. They are all pretty equally dispersed.
But as a kid, and with taking my nostalgia into consideration, I think Last Crusade is the best one.
You have chosen wisely.
I've lost him.
All right, so number 1.
There's no greater disparity between a first movie and a second movie.
How did they make the second one? I don't understand who funded the second one after the first one.
Who
would give them money?
I've seen that story like in a documentary or something, but I don't specifically remember because there was a number of years.
Oh yeah,
in between those two.
Yeah,
and I don't think that actually like the first one didn't do that badly in terms of like.
I don't think so because it was right at the end of the disco era and everything was weird anyway. Sorry, disco fans.
And also, take in mind, like the original theatrical version of Star Trek: The Motion Picture was much shorter, and like every time I rewatch it, I'm
like
seeing
5 hours long.
Yeah, like we're seeing like all the added extra ship porn.
Yeah. Let's fly around the Enterprise 20 more times.
Scotty's in the corner, like, oh yeah, that's the Enterprise. All right, moving on. All right,
we got a movie coming up.
Yeah, this week in movies. Are you ready?
I am.
Player 1?
I am. Player 2?
Player 1? I don't...
Will they make a sequel called Ready Player 2? I bet they do. This movie's going to destroy the box office, I think. Come on, that was a good joke. No?
You have to put a... How cool would it be if the sequel was Ready Player 2 and on opening day they did this promotion where it was 50 cents to get in because you got to put in 2 quarters.
That would be actually really cool.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Let's just throw money away. Let's just throw it all away.
So, Ready Player 1. I have not read the book. This was a book before.
I wanted to, but this is a book that was made. I was made aware of only recently, like right before they announced that they were doing a movie about it.
Yeah, I saw the book. It's been years ago. Never had a chance to read it. Didn't really catch my interest, but seeing the trailers lately.
Former Horseman employee Anthony Wilson dogged me to read this. I'm like, I'm gonna read it. And I had it on my Audible.
Yeah.
And I just didn't get to listen to it. I just didn't get to it. I was like, all right, just one more Star Wars book. Just one more Star Wars book.
I'm almost done.
All right, now one more Star Wars book
So the premise is it's very Matrixy, I guess. People are plugging into this.
So it's kind of the opposite, where
they're trying to get in, or people are going into it.
Where the world is functional, not decimated, but functional.
Right.
But there's nothing to live for except for plugging yourself in to this online fantasy world.
Yeah. That visually it looks amazing.
And there's supposed to be 1 million pop culture references in it.
So they know people like me and you are going to go see this 1,000 times just to
I
see the character on the hill.
Point that one
Is
out.
that the Iron Giant?
Is that the Incredible Hulk?
I saw Freddy in it. Freddy Krueger?
Is Freddy Krueger? Stop saying this because I want to see that.
Okay. All right. So go see it. It's coming out this week.
All right, countdown to infinity. Week number 12. We have hit the end of the Captain America trilogy with Captain America: The Civil War.
Which side of the Civil War were you on?
Cap.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see. The side of government says you have to do this, this, and that, and the side of freedom and justice.
Fair enough.
And
question withdrawn.
So a little bit of a comparison to the Civil War comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So in this movie, you do get a sense that they don't really try to balance them. It's okay, Cap is right, and Tony's making bad decisions because he's upset about the events of Sokovia and blah 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 blah. But in the comic book, Tony Stark is basically a Nazi. I mean, it's true. He's legitimately a bad person. I mean, Tony Stark is already questionable. He's condoning people being killed in the comic book and all these bad things.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the movie? I mean,
the movie was all right. As you know, I'm not a fan of Captain America that much. The character in general. But everybody else, it's a good ride.
You don't have anything more to contribute to this?
No.
All right, I'm going to make a formal apology about this because it was unfair of me to expect you to keep up. When I came up with this segment, Countdown to Infinity, I was like, okay, we'll rewatch the movie every week. And then we'll have these really cool, insightful mini conversations about these movies. And I was mad at you for a while because you're just not doing this. But it's actually my fault
for
to expect that you were gonna do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think if you had actually watched this movie last night, I think you might have something more to say than Captain America's not cool.
I've been watching S.H.I.E.L.D. though, and I think they've just passed this part in where I'm at in S.H.I.E.L.D. So.
All the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents signed the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, I know.
Daisy Johnson, no!
Yeah, Daisy.
Disappointment.
Yeah, I was not
Yo, what's up with that? She gets hers.
Don't tell me that. Spoiler alert.
That's not a spoiler.
That was a spoiler.
It just means that something bad happens. Bad happens to every person in that. Okay. All right, moving on to the Four Horsemen mailbag. We had this one submitted through our survey. If you could go back in time and rename the store, what would you name it?
Did I ever tell you the story about the naming of the store?
About 1,000 times, but go ahead.
Okay. I was never really a fan of the name of the store, but I was outvoted 3-1.
Yeah, because there originally were going to be 4 of you.
There were supposed to be 4 of us.
And the night before signing the loan, the 3 others backed out, and your brother-in-law signed it with you, right?
Yep.
But then he eventually.
Yeah, he went on to bigger and better things, and he was much smarter than I was.
So let's go back in time.
Rename the store.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man,
I would not.
It's like you didn't read this ahead of time.
No. I wouldn't.
Actually, that's my fault this time because I didn't have it uploaded to the Google Drive. That's my fault this week.
There you go. I originally I was thinking about naming it after myself, and that just didn't sound right.
Davis Comics.
No, or Ron something. Yeah, it just
Ron's Comic Closet.
Yeah,
that's like don't let your kids go in there.
Yeah, don't go near that. Keep your kids at home. I was always a fan of Wolverine. I thought about trying to work that in. Then I was like, well, I'll get sued out of existence the first week.
So mine, I actually was like, I wanna have a Star Wars name that's something that's not copyrighted but could still be recognized as a Star Wars reference. So I came up with a few.
Yeah.
Twin Suns Comics.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Century Moon Comics.
I like that.
I had another one that was really cool, and I completely forgot what it was. I should have written them down.
Darth Vader's Comic Club.
No, that'll get you sued.
Why are there so many
That'll
closets
get you
in
sued. Come into Ron's closet.
I play a game.
No.
All right, so in the comments section, give me some good names, guys. What would you name the store if we could rename it? I'm not going to because it costs money.
3 Alligator Men Comics.
Bodie McBoatface Comics.
Bodie McBoatface. Yeah. All right, do we have a sale this week?
We do have a sale this week. We're doing the set that came out a few weeks ago, Masters 25. We are going to drop the price to $180. That is $60 lower than MSRP. So
Yeah, this week only mentioned This Week or Four Horsemen at the counter. You can get all that money off your box of Masters 25. I know I'm supposed to stop smacking the table.
I've been real cautious. I'm like trying to hang on the edge of the table so I don't hit.
At least people can hear me.
Yeah. I might move my mic.
All right, we're going to move on to our closer, but make sure to stick around for our post-credits scene. Please like us at facebook.com/Four Horsemen Comics. Follow us on Instagram at Four Horsemen Comics. Watch all of our YouTube content at youtube.com/C/Four Horsemen Comics Gaming. Follow us on Twitter at @Four Horsemen Comics. Watch all of our streaming content at twitch.tv/Four Horsemen Comics. And shop our TCG inventory at shop.fourhorsemencomics.com. And this week's scene was given to us by Mr. Martin Shaw. And this is, of course, the climactic rooftop scene
This was a good
of
pick, Martin.
Blade Runner.
This was a great pick.
Oh, hold on, we gotta roll. We gotta roll.
Oh, we gotta roll from next week's?
Yeah. 11.
What's 11?
We'll just do 11. James Brown, The Departed Cranberry Juice scene. We cannot do that.
I don't remember that one.
I'll show it to you on YouTube.
I remember The Departed.
We cannot do that scene. Is not appropriate anyway. But we'll come up with something related.
Sorry, James.
All
All right. Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it is to be a slave.
This is the part where you grab me.
Oh, I catch you. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All those moments we lost in time, like tears in the rain.
You didn't pause. Alex told you to pause.
Time to die.
Let your bird go.
Good job, everybody. Good show.
It's a good bird.